Oh, well, so, the last time we talked, we did the fullness chart. And you just said, well, before you do the fullness chart with people, there's something else that you talk with them about and that you would want to talk about that on the next video.
Okay.
So let's do
So
that today.
when someone comes in, a lot of times their history includes a lot of dieting. They may have an identified eating disorder with restricting and binging or purging. So when they first come in, I need to like stabilize their eating because they have been eating so weird. It can be hard for them or impossible for them to just start feeling their cues and trusting their cues. Their cues could be off. So if someone's not eating anything all day long until dinner, they don't really have much in the way of cues because your body's adjusted to that and slowed down. So what I do with them first is get them on more of a pattern of eating. So I ask them to eat every 2 to 3 hours, a meal snack pattern, usually 5 or 6. So they're eating 5 or 6 times a day. And I ask that they combine always carbohydrate with protein and or fat. So meals is pretty easy to get, all 3 of them, but snacks you can have either or on the protein or fat. And protein is not referred to fat. We'll talk about that in the legalizing video, but always carbohydrate. So that keeps you, it boosts your metabolism. Most people will kind of express that they experience more hunger through the day if they eat breakfast, which they're complaining about, but that's actually a good sign that their metabolism is boosted. So after a few days of eating according to this pattern, people will start to feel more cues. So that's a sign that it's doing what it's supposed to be doing. It's kind of getting your body back onto a normal track.
So
And
what are some examples of the foods? Because
okay, sure. Carbohydrates examples would be bread, cereal, bagels, chips have carbohydrate. Almost everything has carbohydrate. Fruits are good. A lot of people will consider vegetables a carbohydrate, and I mean, I guess technically, but we really don't absorb much of the carbohydrate from vegetables, so that wouldn't be a source of something that's really going to help bring your blood sugar back to normal, and nourish you through the day. And then things that are protein would be meats. There's basically 4 categories: meats, dairy, eggs, and nuts. So that one's kind of easy to remember.
okay.
And then fats, there's not a whole lot of added fats either. People think fats are, all over the place, but they're really not. So fats would be like sour cream, guacamole, butter, oil, olives, avocado,
Oil?
oil.
Oil. Oh, I thought you said whale. Okay.
So those would be some examples.
So a snack would be some
An example, peanut butter.
potato chips dipped in sour cream.
Okay. If you like that, I guess that could be an option.
I'm just trying to figure out. If I go in and grab some potato chips, should I eat butter with them? I mean,
I think like a potato chip sometimes is enough because if you get regular potato chips, it'll have fat in it.
okay.
So like if you chose cookies, that would probably be an okay snack on its own, not needing to be combined because it has, if they're regular, may have some fat in it. So chips could probably stand alone. You could eat a piece of cheese or
Okay.
I guess you could dip them in queso or something like that, but you don't really have to combine chips.
Okay. So you're saying really the first step before doing the fullness wellness is to start eating several times a day, 5 to 7?
5 to 6 times a day.
5 to 6, and these little meals. So you're starting to.
Yeah, well, it's meals and snacks, so it's not like everything's a snack or whatever. I mean, you have breakfast and then snack, lunch, snack, dinner, snack. So every 2 or 3 hours, you're eating.
Okay. And that's what you do with people, whether they're bulimic, or not eating enough, or bulimic, or also eating too much.
Right. I mean, the exception is that occasionally I will use a meal plan with somebody who's really, really restrictive or anorexic or whatever, because they so need more direction. But in most cases, I just ask people to kind of eat the foods that they like to eat. Just try to kind of combine them and eat on that frequent pattern.
Okay. Okay, does that wrap up what you do first then? Let's.
Yeah, I would have people keep a food journal. so that I could review it with them. And that's, usually they look like deers in headlights, but I reassure them that unlike like Weight Watchers or your trainer at the gym, it's not for food policing. It's for helping a person figure out how to combine, or if timing is off or whatever, if they struggled somewhere through the day, we can kind of look at that stuff. So it's really just to help strategize. It's never going to be like, oh my gosh, you ate. Like usually if it's anything, it's like, why did you only have vegetables here or something like that? I mean, it's not going to be because they ate candy or whatever. So food journal, and then I would have them make a good and bad food list so that we could start to look at what foods they feel are safe and nutritious and foods they feel are bad and not nutritious, So that starts the legalizing process that we're going to talk about next.
Okay. Okay, well, that's good. I think let's wrap on that.